think with the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way back the baby to sleep.
Until morning. Ewing.
Oh, wow.
He's going to try and get one more shot off the air. Push the buzzer.
How about that?
Steps over to Ron Lowe. He's got about three. He'll put up a three.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Boom Broadcasting presents Street from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for joining me here on Saturday. It has been a great week of sports. If you guys didn't already see it, of course, we have the NFL draft going on right now. We had our live Boom Broadcasting Presents had our live edition of draft coverage. Man, had a great time. I was on there for 4 hours with a bunch of the guys. Man, we had so much fun just dissecting and talking about the first round in the NFL draft. But of course, we're here to talk about NBA basketball. We've had some great NBA basketball so far here in this week of the NBA playoffs, guys, and we're going to jump right into that here. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about some driving. We got some teams in the driver's seat right now, so we'll get those easy ones kind of out of the way here. First, we'll talk about that number 1 seed, Oklahoma City Thunder. Man, the poor Grizzlies, they gave it such a valiant effort Thursday night. The Grizzlies up by as many as 29 points, leading at halftime, 67-40. But what about 3 minutes ago in the first half, Ja goes down and goes out with a hip injury. And once that happened, it looked like the soul literally was just sucked out of those Memphis Grizzlies. So they gave it a valiant effort, but unfortunately it fell short because those Oklahoma City Thunder just came roaring back and erased that deficit, getting into the fourth quarter and ended up taking the lead. Towards the end, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 31, Chet, 24 points, Jalen Williams, 26 points. Ja had 15 before he left. Pippen Jr. dropped in his career high 28, and Jaren Jackson Jr. 22. But Ja going down just was the nail in the proverbial coffin of the Minnesota Grizzlies. Not a good look for them. Thunder are just too strong. I mean, it's the Grizzlies when they fired their head coach and they put it into Tomas Ilios's hands. Tomas Lasalo's hands. I can't even say his name right. When they put it in his hands and the team started falling the way they have, this was going to be an early exit for them. They play on Saturday, and I have a feeling this is just going to be a clean sweep. Look, the Thunder shooting over 46% right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaging 24 points, a little over 24 points a game, 5 rebounds and 6 assists a game. Shout out to that whole team. Chet has showed up, but man, Alex Caruso, when you watch these games, there's those things that don't show up in the stat line. And you look at Alex Caruso, you look at a Hartenstein, who I miss on the Knicks. You look at a Dort, you look at those guys. Yeah, they don't drop in a lot of points, but man, they are just all over the court. They're making plays. They're hyping up their team. This Thunder team, I thought at the beginning of the playoffs, were going to struggle getting started. I thought maybe some of the muscle memory from last year and losing in the playoffs last year, being a number 1 seed, I thought that was going to kind of echo over to this year. But man, they came out in this series and have played phenomenal basketball. they're going to be a tough out, especially in that Wild Wild West. But man, it's over for the Grizz. I think they need to retool. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that they're going to be moving on from Ja at the end of the year, because just the way he acted towards the end of the year. This is not the way I wanted to see it end. Excuse me, guys. And I'm sorry, man. I may still sound a little weird. Still kind of getting over whatever junk I had this week. So bear with me here. I got my coffee, kind of helped the throat, put a little honey in it. So kind of helps the vocal cords a little bit. But yeah, Ja, end of the year. This is not how we wanted your season to end. You started out so great. It looked like you had turned that maturity corner. Excuse me. And then kind of went off the rails there a little bit. And unfortunately, you ran into the Oklahoma City Thunder the first round, and they're not a number one seed, um, for no reason. So we'll see what happens. They do play the game. They do play on Saturday. We'll see if the Grizzlies can show up. It looks like they're not going to have Ja today, 3:30. Do they have a shot? Slight, but it pretty much looks like it's a done deal. Oklahoma City Thunder are in a mission right now. So let's put that one in the books. I have a feeling that's going to be a clean sweep. The other team kind of sitting in the driver's seat, that other number one coming out of the East, Cleveland Cavaliers. Pretty consistent this whole year. They've also been consistent the first couple of games of the series, scoring 121 points both times. Donovan Mitchell has really shown up as the alpha dog in these playoffs, in this series, averaging over 30 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 5 assists. That team from top to bottom, is just very evenly matched up. Didn't really see a superstar. I know Donovan Mitchell, but Darius Garland can get you points. I mean, they got Evan Mobley. They just have such a well-balanced team. You don't think of it as being kind of top heavy with, oh man, we got superstars. But Donovan Mitchell is showing why he really needs to be up there as a superstar in the NBA. And that's going to get the Cavs to the next level, as they need him to be the leader, to be the alpha dog of that team. One of the things that's really helping them against the Heat is getting to the free throw line. They're shooting over 87% from the free throw line. Heat only shooting 75%. So getting to the line, scoring points. That's what the Cavs are doing right now. They're doing well. They play today, 1 o'clock. So Saturday, 1 p.m. You guys have to check that game out. It's going to be on right after 3 from Deep. So watch me here at 12 p.m. on Saturday, and then that'll roll you right into the 1 o'clock game, which is the Cavs versus the Heat. I don't see this going past 4 games. I think this is going to be another series that's pretty much a clean sweep. Heat, congratulations for being the first number 10 team to make it out of the play-in tournament. Salvaged the season. I know you guys have been through a lot, the whole Jimmy Butler drama, etc. Hopefully they can retool next year and do some big things there in Miami. I got a love for the Miami Heat, got a lot of love for Florida. So, but I have a feeling, and again, this is why they play the games. Guys get hurt. You never know. Excuse me. But I have a feeling that, Cavs are going to just pretty much steamroll through the Heat, and that's going to be it. So, those are the teams that are kind of just rolling along. They got the, I don't want to say the easy road, but they are definitely making it look like they belong, and the reason why they're the number one teams in the East and in the West with the Thunder and the Miami Heat. So they are definitely sitting in the driver's seat right now. After that, man, we have some great series going on right now. Um, the rest of the way down, it's pretty cool. So late Friday night, stayed up late to watch the game. You had that Wolves Lakers matchup. Man, T Wolves. I told you they're gonna be a scary team right now. Um, a late push in the fourth quarter puts the T Wolves ahead for good. They end up winning the game 116-104, taking the 2-1 lead against those Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James, I'm gonna give you props, dude. Um, I don't know why. I mean, I know you're 40, you're almost 41. You look like you're 67 out there. It's pretty crazy. I don't know why you physically you kind of still look amazing. Um, at some points in the game, you could kind of see you were starting to get a little bit tired. There was a couple of drop balls there. I mean, heck, you even got blocked by Dante DiVincenzo, my boy. But LeBron James still doing amazing things at his age. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He gave everything he had in that game. I'll tell you what, I will give it to him. That's why sometimes you see players give that all like that. And then there's some of the guys on the team, the rest of the team, excuse me, don't, which is disappointing. And I think that's ultimately what's going to hurt the Lakers. But LeBron James, 38. Reeves dropped 20, 7 and 8. Not bad. I think he could have done a little bit more. He still looked a little passive, little shell shocked out there sometimes. Luca, I guess he had food poisoning or he had some sickness. I didn't really catch the beginning of it of what he had, but Luca was not operating on all cylinders. Only gave 17 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. So he kind of gave what he had. And the biggest thing I have an issue with right now with those Los Angeles Lakers, especially Luka Doncic, is man, he is still chirping at the damn refs. He wastes more energy in an NBA game complaining about fouls, this, that. Oh, I got hit. I got dude. Stop. Stop. Luca. Stop. Just be great. Go out there and play basketball. If you get hit, you get hit. You get up and move on. If they call it, they call it. If they don't, get back down there on defense. Stop running over to the refs and chirping. And unfortunately, that's kind of a little bit of a knock on LeBron. And I think he's not in the best situation to help him break some of those habits, is because LeBron's they make fun of him flopping. He tends to chirp at the refs too and wants the calls and this and that. So he's not in the best situation to break that habit. But man, Luka Doncic, you are too good to be doing this, man. You did it in Dallas, unfortunately. You're chirping at refs, and then the guys are already down the court scoring a basket. I mean, just shut up and get back on defense. You're either going to get the call or you're not. Chirping about it ain't going to do nothing. You're just making yourself, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your time, and it makes you look dumb. And it's very disappointing because you ruined a great game by LeBron James. I'm sorry you were sick, but you were well enough to chirp at the refs every chance you got going up and down the court. And then LeBron, where was the rest of your team? I didn't really see anybody else. Finney Smith. There was nobody else really that stepped up on that team when we were watching that game Friday night. It was LeBron James giving everything he has. Luka at about 7. He looked about 75%, so he looked like he was struggling, but still chirping. A little bit of Reeves, and then that was it. And you can't do that in a hostile environment because Minnesota, when they get that crowd involved and Anthony Edwards is on and he's flying around, he's dunking, they are exciting to watch and they get the crowd in it. So it is going to be tough to beat them in that arena. But Anthony Edwards, great performance, 29 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Jaden McDaniels showing up with 30. Phenomenal performance. My boy Dante DiVincenzo had 10 points, but he had some clutch shots. He was all over the court and then had a huge block on LeBron James. So great job, Dante. And then Naz Reid getting his, just being all over the place, bodying up. He's just a big dude, man. And he wears teams out. So 11 and 6 rebounds. I think he can do a little bit more. He's definitely one of those guys that you want on your team. He looks like a dog. He looks like he's the guy that is not afraid to body somebody up. He's not afraid to get down low and get dirty. He's the guy you definitely want on your team. But Timberwolves going up 2-1 in this series is important. JJ Redick, I think, is getting out coached. He is really slow on making changes and lineup changes and halftime adjustments. I see the lack of inexperience in him and the way that team is performing. So Lakers, you're on notice, dude. T-Wolves, excuse me. T-Wolves look good. And if you go down 3-1, that's a tough hill to climb. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm about 75% myself, so Luke is not the only one struggling right now. Salute. Some other great performances that showed up Friday night. The Orlando Magic came to the party. Boston Celtics, and I don't know what it is, but Magic ended up winning that game 95-93. Close all the way up to the end, but home court advantage. That O-Town Stadium was rocking. I am greatly impressed on Franz Wagner and Paulo Blancharo. Those two guys, this whole series, have been absolutely phenomenal. No hiccup in their game. Franz Wagner, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Paulo, 29, 6 and 1. Wendell Carter Jr. showed up a little bit, 10 points, 12 rebounds. Sorry, guys, excuse me. And a huge win for the Orlando Magic. I think they can make this a series. Look, I had Orlando as a sleeper. I think they're a fantastic young team. They have a great lineup. Still think they're missing some experience on that team. But Paulo and Franz, they look both like they're kind of the leaders of that team, and I think they enjoy it. They play well with each other. Nobody's trying to outdo anybody. They all play together. They know those are the two guys that set the tone, and they let them set it. So it was a very, very impressive victory against the champion Boston Celtics, making this a series. I was afraid this was going to be a sweep, but watching them on Friday, I changed my tune a little bit. Because look, right now Tatum was injured, didn't know he was going to play. It was game time decision. But drops 36, 9 and 4. So he had a phenomenal game. Excuse me. Jaylen Brown, 19 and 6. A couple of guys that were a little light in the helping aspect here for those Boston Celtics. Peyton Pritchard, where'd you go, man? Only 3 points. Sixth man of the year. And we'll talk about that at the end of the show here a little bit. We got some of the awards to go over. Derek White, I flowered you up last couple games. Only 16 points. So a quiet night for you. But I think O-Town can make this a series. And I wonder if Joe Mazzulla and that injury, whatever you want to call it, scenarios, not scenario, what do I want to say? That injury that happened with Tatum falling on the floor, injuring himself. You're stopping first aid and telling him to get up. Meanwhile, he was actually hurt. I don't know if that had some negative repercussions on this team. I know what he was going for, the whole, that's our superstar, but I treat him like everybody else and I'm not going to baby him. And this is the playoffs and you got to be tough and we're a tough team. So get up, get your butt, rub some dirt on it, rub a little dirt on it and get up. Back in the day, you shook it off or whatever. I really do wonder if that had something negative just inflicted in this team. Looking at the way Boston played, it looked a little out of sorts. I mean, Tatum still had a good game, but he still looked a little bit off. Porzingis, I mean, I know he got bopped in the head there, but he did not look good Friday night either. So I wonder if this Joe Mazzulla thing, I wonder if that backfired, dude. And I think we're going to see what happens Sunday night for game 4. I think if Orlando comes out and punches you in the mouth and ties this series up, I think Boston's in trouble. Because Orlando's got a good squad. They're not bowing down. They could have bowed down to the champions, but they did not. They came home and they handled their business. So we're going to see what's going on in game 4. And I want to see what the Celtics do in game 4. So I'm curious to see if they're going to respond or has something poisoned the well there in Boston, because I don't know. It looked a little weird, man. Guys, tell me what you think. Do you think Joe Mazzulla's actions in the game where Tatum got hurt were fair or foul? I want to know your thoughts. Drop me a comment. Again, while you're in there, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, man. Don't be afraid. Boom Broadcasting is free. It won't hurt you. Check us out. Great content. But I need to hear from you guys. I'm here. I want to know what you guys think, because I'm telling you what I think. I think he done messed up, Ron. But we're going to see what happens here, game 4. So, Orlando, I like it. And then we had another team show up to the party that I thought would be literally dead. Milwaukee Bucks Friday night got their first win in this series against those Indiana Pacers. Man, those first 2 games, Indiana Pacers were running up and down the court. Excuse me, guys. I thought this looked like a 4-game sweep. You had Giannis and literally nobody else. Dame's still hurt, trying to recover and get his game shape, get his game legs back in there. But man, 117-101. Great victory for the Bucks. Look, Giannis got his 37, 12, and 6. He's still one of the top 5 players in the NBA, top 5 players in the world. He is the Greek freak. He is a champion, an MVP. No doubt about it. But can't do it alone. especially like, excuse me, a tough squad like the Indiana Pacers. But they did some lineup switching around and put in Gary Trent Jr. in the starting lineup, and it paid dividends. Gary Trent Jr. normally averages about 11 points a game. Came in and dropped 37. We even had a Kyle Kuzma sighting. Had 9 points, three rebounds, and a couple assists. So no goose eggs. Excuse me. No goose eggs for Kyle Kuzma. Great job, Kyle. Thank you. Welcome to the series finally. But great win by the Bucks, man. They needed that. 2-1 now. They play Sunday, late game. Siakam had 28. Neesmith, 18. Halliburton, only 14. Halliburton, I expect more from you. You were chirping there. There was some chirping between you and Dame time. Where you at? 14 points for a player of your caliber is pretty weak. Miles Turner, 6 points. So Indiana, this gut check time. You had the Bucks, who were essentially, I thought, were done. Just hit you in the face, slowed you down. Got a good victory. Game 4 is going to be important. Do the Bucks even this series up? Or do you take control at 3-1? This is the playoffs. You got to be consistent. You can't play one way the first couple of games and then scrap it and do something else the next few games. So, Indiana, we're going to see if you show up here on Sunday. But great win from the Bucks. Great win, Giannis. I still curious to know what the Bucks are going to do in the offseason. Again, they wanted to fire everybody. I still think if they get bounced early, they blow it up. I would like to see them rebuild it around Giannis, but Giannis is too good of a chip to not get a haul in return. Excuse me. So we'll discuss that in the offseason, guys. And then let's talk about Thursday night. My New York Knicks. This old school 90s beat 'em up, bad boy Pistons versus the New York Knicks. Oh, I love these kind of series. I love this series so much, man. Excuse me, guys. But New York Knicks go up 2-1. Great victory, close game, hard-fought game against the Pistons, 118-116. Shout out Karl Anthony Towns. Thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate it. This is the Karl Anthony Towns that could get us to the promised land. 31-8-8. You can do that every game. You have the talent. You have the floor general to get you there. And Mr. Jalen Brunson, who dropped 37-9. OG Anunoby, 22 points. Mikal Bridges, 20-7. Contributions from everybody. Excuse me. Great game, guys. Great victory for the New York Knicks. Look, those Detroit Pistons, I know they were garbage last year and the last few years, but man, they have shown up. They are taking this series seriously. So it's time for you too. So Sunday, 1 o'clock. Very important game 4. Do the Knicks let Boston get back into this? Or do the Knicks take control of this series? Because they have the experience. And they should have a chip on their shoulder from getting bounced in the playoffs last year when Indiana bounced them early. But very impressed with Cade Cunningham. Another one. Talked about Orlando and their two. But man, props to Detroit for not only making the playoffs and having a phenomenal year, but man, they are playing the New York Knicks hard and they are not backing down. And this series is so much fun for people of my generation where we watched, excuse me, guys, where we watched hard nosed, gritty, physical basketball, chippy basketball. I like it. But Cade Cunningham, 24, 7, and 11. Phenomenal year, dude. You know, a lot of number ones could have just mailed it in, but you had a great year, and then now you're turning it on, and for your first playoffs, you have been outstanding. So props to Cade Cunningham for playing like he has. Um, Another guy I want to give a lot of love to, man, is Dennis Schroeder. He was on 4 different teams this year. Had a little bit of a beef and talked about how the NBA and you could just get traded and there's you guys have no control and he was a little upset. But a lot of other players that kind of have that happen to them, 4 different teams in a year, would have just mailed it in, folded up shop, been disgruntled. But man, he has shown up in these playoffs, and I love him on this team. And I hope Detroit keeps him because he is that type of player that fits in perfectly with the attitude of Detroit, with the makeup of this team. Dropped 18-5, but he has been the unsung hero of these Detroit Pistons here since he's joined this team. So phenomenal job. And Tim Hardaway Jr. dropping 24, former New York Knick. Another kind of a road veteran that's been on a lot of different teams. Maybe he has found his home here in Detroit. But shout out Detroit. You guys are giving it a hell of a run. But of course, I got to cheer for my Knicks, man. So let's go, guys. Karl Anthony Towns, keep doing your thing. You should never be under 20 points. Period. You are too good of a player. This is why we traded for you. Do not let Julius Randle outshine you in the playoffs for the Timberwolves. Because that's the reason why we wanted you, because Julius Randle kind of always tended to disappear, was hurt, was never available. And the best ability is availability. So keep it up here. I'm a quick timeout, guys. I'm sorry. Between allergies and being a little under the weather, just trying to maintain here. So hopefully I don't sound too bad. So I appreciate you sticking here with me, guys. And I do appreciate the love and support I'm getting from everybody out there. Again, from the Boom Broadcasting family, my man Cody from Drew Code Sports Talk, and all the way down the line, family, friends, etc. And everybody that's stopping by and checking the show out. I appreciate it. But, drop me a comment, show some love. I want to know what you guys are thinking, man. Give me some thoughts, give me some ideas. I want to mention some names on the show. Shout out to my boy Jose for watching the show and dropping me some comments and dropping me some messages, asking me some questions. So I appreciate that. We got another series that is not really going the way I expected it. And it's another one of those. Excuse me. I'm impressed. It takes a lot to impress me. But right now, the Denver Nuggets are in trouble. I'm hitting the panic button. We are hitting the panic button in Denver. I think getting rid of Malone, 3 games left to go in the season, was the biggest mistake you can make. but lost to the Clippers. Clippers are now up 2-1. Heck of a game from Norman Powell, 20 points. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. You're going to make me eat my words. You're going to make me eat my words, man. Last 3-5 years, you have just been invisible, kind of a disappointment. I mean, you're such a great player, Hall of Fame player. You got rings. After Toronto, you disappeared. All this other weird stuff you do behind closed doors, and your people talking about all this and that. But Kawhi Leonard has shown up in these playoffs and has been there every step of the way and is impressing me. Dropped 21, 11, and 6 and has shown why he is still a great basketball player. Excuse me. Excuse me. A great basketball player. So shout out Kawhi. I know I've beat you up. We'll see if you can continue this. But Zubac, 19-9. James Harden, another one, 26-9. James Harden showing up. To me, some of these guys are points for hire. You look at a James Harden, a Kevin Durant, you just keep plopping them on different teams. They'll give you 30, 40 points, but never really amounts to anything. Exception Kevin Durant, but he also had Steph Curry. That's a whole nother argument. But yeah, man, these Clippers are dangerous right now. Tyronn Lue is out coaching the substitute teacher there in Denver. Clippers look strong. I had the Nuggets winning this thing, dude, but I really believe that Malone is the difference. I really believe that coaching is the difference. Joker can't do this by himself. He had another triple-double, 23, 13, and 13. I mean, he's the best basketball player on this earth right now. Jamal Murray, 23. But Westbrook, only 3 points. Where are you at? Porter Jr., 7 points. That's not going to cut it. So tonight, 6 o'clock, game 4. This is a pivotal game for Denver. They look bad. Joker's trying to coach him up on the sideline. Joker's trying to be the coach of the team. And it's a bad look. Clippers look strong. They look well coached. And they look like they're firing on all cylinders. So, I'll stick with my pick. I picked the Nuggets. I'll take the L. But it is looking like the Clippers are going to take a hold of this. And we'll find out later today. But it's looking like the Clippers are going to win this series. They look good. And they're going to be dangerous out in the West. So, shout out Kawhi. Shout out James Harden. You guys are making me really eat my words, really backtrack. I haven't said I'm sorry yet. I still stand behind what I said. But, man, you guys look good. Now, the other game, we're going to jump in here. Rockets Warriors. Rockets get their first victory, 1-1 against the Warriors. But that's not the issue. Jimmy Butler. Playoff Jimmy. Jimmy was the reason they won game 1. Jimmy going down and hurting himself and looks like he's going to be out. I don't know how long. No structural damage from what I'm hearing. Another bruise. Tailbone, kind of like what Steph Curry went through earlier in the season. And heck, it took him almost a week to 10 days to kind of get over what he got over. When you get those deep bruises and that shit starts tightening up, man, it gets a little hard to move. But Rockets win that game 109-94. Jalen Green showing up. Again, that first game, non-existent. Second game, 38, 4, and 6. That's what a superstar is supposed to do. These Houston Rockets have a bunch of guys on this team that are poised to become names in the NBA. Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Alfred Sengun. Dylan Brooks drops 16. Amen, 11. These Rockets are dangerous. I still think, again, they're kind of missing just something, but they at least have more experience, and I think that's what's helping them a little more than, say, an Orlando or a Detroit, is they got Brooks, who has experience, is a good veteran. Van Vliet, championship experience. Ime Udoka, as far as coaching, is phenomenal. I think he's underrated. I understand why Boston did what they did, but I think that was a little premature. That's a whole nother story. But man, when these Rockets are on, man, they are a fun team to watch. They are going to be a dangerous team in the West for years to come, especially if they keep this core and kind of move some pieces, maybe add I want to say maybe another superstar, but maybe another key piece. I can see them winning a chip in the next 2-3 years. I don't know if they can make it through this year. That'd be hella tough. But they're right there. They weren't second in the West as a fluke. But Warriors, I think you're done. If Jimmy doesn't come back, Steph can't do this alone. Curry, 20 points, 5 and 9. But who else you got? Kuminga? Nobody else has stepped up. Draymond kind of does his thing, but he's not a prolific scorer. Excuse me. He helps facilitate. He's a little more of a spark plug. But late night game, 8:30 tonight. We're really going to see what this series is going to look like the next few games. If the Rockets come out and do what I think that they're going to do, watch out. Steph, this is probably going to be an early exit. And Steph, you're going to see some help next year. So we'll talk about that in the offseason, because 3 from deep, we're not going anywhere in the offseason. We're still going to be here. We're still going to talk NBA, because NBA goes all year round, baby. So we'll still talk about some things, but we still got a long way to go. Still got about another month to go of playoff. I think a little more than a month of playoff basketball. So let's go on a quick award tour. We're on a award tour with Muhammad Man. I love me some Triqual Quest. Shout out. Rest in peace, Fife Dog. But let's go to the award tour. The NBA's been handing out some awards already here. I hate that they do it this time of year. I wish they would let the playoffs play and then they do the awards after. It just kind of muddles it up a little bit here. But shout out Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley. Cha-ching. Evan Mobley getting Defensive Player of the Year. Kicked in the Rose Rule for him. And what that means is normally he would have got 25% of the salary cap, which means about $38.7 million for the next 5 years. But because he got the Defensive Player of the Year and the Rose Rule kicked in, he's not going to get 30%, which is going to be about $45 million. excuse me, a year over the next 5 years. So shout out Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year. Just put some cash in your pocket. So congratulations. Sixth man of the year. I talked about it early in that Celtics game. Peyton Pritchard. Where you at, man? Sixth man of the year, and you win that award, and then all of a sudden you score 3 points. What's going on? But congratulations, sixth man of the year. That could have gone to a number of great players, but Peyton Pritchard wins. And then clutch player of the year, my boy. Let's go Knicks. Clutch player of the year, who I still should be considered in the MVP discussion. Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year, my MVP. Go New York Knicks, but congratulations, Jalen. And then the Hustle Award, which I didn't even know they had these things, but you know, like participation trophies, you got to have a lot of these different ones. But Hustle Award goes to Draymond Green. And you know what? Shout out Draymond. You do all the dirty work. You're down there bodying up. You're bumping guys around. You're causing a little friction down there and, and trying to get under guys' skin. And you do hustle. You do fall on the floor and go after loose balls and all that other stuff. So shout out Draymond Green for winning the Hustle Award. So, guys, I appreciate you being here. Again, Saturday's schedule. As soon as you get off here from 3 from Deep, 1 o'clock, you got that Cavs Heat game. Then 3:30, you got the Nuggets and the Grizz. Which, are the Grizz dead? Yes or no? Then 6 o'clock, Nuggets, Clippers. Nuggets, I think you're on life support, dude. Clippers looking awfully good. And then 8:30 late game, Rockets, Warriors. Same thing with those Warriors. The Warriors woes. They're not looking good, not having Jimmy Butler there. That is going to be a tough hill to climb against those Rockets. And then Sunday's game, 1 o'clock, we got my Knicks playing the Pistons. You got 3:30 Lakers, Wolves. Should be another great game. Maybe Luka feels a little bit better. Maybe the rest of the Lakers team decides to show up and help the elder statesman, Mr. LeBron James. I mean, come on, guys. Then 7 o'clock, you got Celtics Magic. Watch it, Celtics. Guys, and I still want to answer to that question, man. Do you think the Joe Mazzulla get up move is going to hurt the Boston Celtics these playoffs? I want to know. But 7 o'clock, Celtics Magics, and then the late game, those Pacers and Bucks. Bucks showing a little bit of life left in them. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Again, I do apologize for the coughing and, my nose still being a little stuffed up. So, but I do feel better. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Again, I'm Jason Colenso. This is 3 from Deep, 3 times a week, Monday at 12, Wednesdays at 12, Saturdays at 12. Please like and subscribe. Hit me up if you got any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, ideas, whatever you got. Shoot me a message. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we do this here at Boom Broadcasting for you. We love our fans and we love the people. And I love y'all too. So thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. And I will check you on Monday. Peace.